have the chat open and I don't. I'm bad.
She's bad.
Okay. It takes a minute sometimes. Once I hit live, it's recording us right now, but I can't see it right away. Open and I don't. Here we go. See, now it's bad. Now it's going to hear us talking. Oh, right. Okay, now I got the chat up. And
okay. I've got it on my device right here so I can see it.
Yeah, because I already pasted your channel link in the description box, and I already put the disclaimer. I copied it from your channel and just kind of tweaked it for us. Your family vlogs. And you're first to be here. We should have a prize for him or her. I'm assuming it's him, but because I know with me, it's always me. When people see Unapologetically Gomes, it's always me. But welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting us.
Oh, you guys are awesome. I'm so excited. I've been like dying. Since we talked about it, I've talked about you guys so much.
Yeah, she's been looking forward to this for a long time.
As soon as I met you guys, I'm like, I want to get to know them. I want to talk to them.
Yeah, you like a lot of fun.
Yeah, we've not been on YouTube that long, and we are really liking this whole platform type of thing that we're doing on Sundays. Like we had Vern Family Vlogs on a couple weeks ago, and then we had Chicory Travels last week. And like with Vern, I loved. I saw his channel, the branding. I'm like, I think people would learn so much from him. Chicory Travels, we love what we want to do one day.
The whole RV lifestyle thing.
And yeah, and so I like it because it's just such a variety of people. And you guys, we saw a few weeks ago, and I've been dying for this because I'm so intrigued and so amazed at how you do everything you do. And then, of course, I saw your Kahlua videos that you did a while ago, and I'm like,
she's a huge Kahlua fan.
It wasn't just the Kahlua. Like you did the healthy, I can't say the word, kombucha. Kombucha. I watched that video.
Kombucha.
I watch it and talk about how I really want to do that.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's so good. It just, store-bought is nothing compared when you make it at home.
My store-bought right here.
There you go.
I have to, since I'm not as talented as you. Welcome, Michelle Verico. Oh, it's Terrell. It is Terrell. Okay, I thought it was with Whitaker Family Vlogs.
Sure.
So we are here with Colorado Martini.
Yay!
And Colorado Martini is an absolutely amazing channel. Like we were just saying, I've been so intrigued by their channel for the longest time, and just amazed at how you do everything you do. Like you're just so smart.
Oh my God, thank you.
You sound like a chemist. When he was watching, right. He said, "Is she a chemist?"
Like the first thing
I'm actually a geophysicist.
It shows.
She is smart.
Yeah, see, I'm a painter, so and that probably shows.
You mix stuff in
houses, or do you paint cars, or do you paint portraits?
I have a little bit of both, but mostly it's construction type stuff. I work on movie sets, so
awesome.
Oh,
it's pretty
I like it.
That's what my grandfather used to work for Warner Brothers. He was he built the stages.
Yeah. I paint them.
Is that a grip?
No, he would have been in construction, a carpenter, a prop maker.
Okay.
Yeah, and so Tim, it's funny because they're really like you have to stick to painting, and when you're a carpenter, you have to stick to carpenter. Laborers have to stick. The union I found is very strict on your job roles. Like, you know, you can't like overlap them. But right now he's working on a Jim Carrey movie.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you with a particular studio?
Right now I'm at Sony, which is called.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah, he worked for Warner Brothers back in the day.
Right.
Like golden age.
That's his grandfather was. His grandfather, his uncle was a prop master. But your grandfather back then, they did a lot of different jobs. Like he would tell us stories about, like he worked on James Dean movies, and I remember listening to all his stories, and they were pretty neat. And his dad was also a painter.
Yeah, he was at 20th Century Fox a lot. He worked on I Love Lucy. He worked on Gilligan's Island, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, my family was all in the TV movie business too, because I grew up in Southern California.
That's what I was telling him. So yes,
that was our first question, right?
Right.
Your background.
Hey, Mama, thanks for coming. Yeah, that was one of our first questions. Well, I wanted to talk about YouTube, but yeah, first tell us, like, because I know you said you were in California before you went to Colorado.
Yes, I'm from Southern California, and Patrick's from Georgia.
Hi, y'all.
We know so many people from Georgia right now. Like, everybody's moving to Georgia around us.
Georgia's booming right now.
Yeah, we have my sister and all her kids have moved to Georgia. Pat's whole family's there. But I can't get him to go back.
Well, we've been there since the Revolutionary War, but so they're not new to Georgia. But I left about 30 years ago. Met Denise in California, Palm Springs. I have the Callaway hat on. You avid golfer?
Avid golfer, yep.
Are you a golfer, Patrick?
Used to play a lot. I recently had shoulder surgery, but leading up to that shoulder surgery was many, many years of misery and not being able to really raise your hand above your head. Most like swinging a golf club were quite painful. So used to be, since it's been repaired, I really haven't picked it back up. I don't even own clubs anymore, but I used to play a lot of the courses in Southern California, especially out in the desert area.
Used to fish those golf courses
yeah.
too.
so when shooting golf didn't work, because hillbillies, we broke out the fishing poles. There's some big old ass fish in all those lakes down in the desert area: Palm Springs, Palm Desert, Indio, Indian Wells. All the nice courses out there all have beautiful lakes on them, and they put huge fish in them to keep them clean.
Yeah.
Nothing you'd want to eat, but it sure is fun pulling in a 15-pound catfish when you're not playing a good game of golf. So
as long as the group behind you is not waiting.
Yeah, we like to play the sunset, and right when sunset, we'll just hang out and fish for a while. So nobody minds too much.
Yeah, sunset's perfect. I love playing twilight now. I used to be like the early guy. I'd have to get out at like 5 or 6 in the morning and play. Now it's like I'd rather play late afternoon, play twilight.
I know, you used to go at like 4 o'clock in the morning. You'd leave sometimes.
Yeah, and it times better with cocktail hour. So I mean, you can get hammered in the morning on your golf cart, and it doesn't do your game much good.
It hurts the game.
Hey, Mama, I want to know. Hey, Mama says, "What are you guys sipping on?" And I am sipping on a Kahlua and cream and a milk. And Tim has a beer. I'm just a beer guy right now. And we're going to get into it. We normally don't drink on our streams, not any particular reason or whatever, but you'll find out why.
Okay, well, it'll be a great blend because we always drink on our stream.
I know. I watch it.
That's why we're drinking today. I have
had some while I watch your stream. And thanks for coming, Chicory Travels. Yes, it is yummy. So we're actually here with Colorado Martini. I'll say a couple of times in case people are coming in. Colorado Martini is a channel that we've been watching for a little while, and we are so excited to have them on. Hi, MU, free music for your videos. I've used their music on the last 2 videos. So they are like super fun. If you're not following them, please, do you guys want to tweet something in or even put a smiley face in the chat so they can click on your, because they can just click on your icon and follow your channel. Or I have put their channel link in the description box. And because we are talking about alcohol, I normally don't say this, but I don't know if I'm supposed to or not. And we're drinking and we're going to be talking about alcoholic drinks. Please make sure you're 21 and over. I think all of our viewers are 21 and over, but just letting you guys know to be on the safe side. Be 21 and over to be in this stream today. And so Colorado Martini is, how long have you guys been on YouTube, first of all?
Well, we've been on YouTube. We just started really making videos and getting out there back in the beginning of April. And so we've been working hard on social media. So we've been on social media for a while, and we just haven't had the time to really do YouTube. And we just finally took the plunge in April, and kind of around the time when we decided we were going to get the book out, which is hopefully coming out here just real soon. We're working on the layout.
We have that in our notes.
That's
Tim
question.
wants one already. He's
I want the book.
That's what
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we had it done. It's kind of in my court right now. I'm trying to get the layout, down. We both work normal jobs, and so getting content out on YouTube at the same time. It's
and plus of all the research.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw our stream last week, Chicory Travels. They also have a second book now out. You guys are like so amazing because you're like a book, your website. You guys have so much going on, but we want that.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do it all and try to get the book out at the same time. And we've had so many opportunities where we could advertise it and stuff, but that's one of the reasons that we've been going hot and heavy on YouTube, was because we wanted to surround the release of our book at the same time. Right.
That's the great thing about being on social media. When you have a book or things like that, it does definitely help to get it out there. I have a feeling your book's going to do really, really well.
Well, thank you. We hope so. We hope so. We have a lot of people anticipating it, and we've been working on it for quite some time, and we've tried to put out some of the recipes that are in the book already on our live streams. Some of the more popular ones, but we're kind of holding on to the real popular ones until the book is as a book release live stream.
Let's leave that as a little teaser so people stay on, and towards the end we'll talk about the book more, and maybe we could talk about some of the recipes and stuff that's in there. So you guys stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. So we already asked them about California, and why you guys went to Colorado. Did we ask them why they went to Colorado?
What brought you guys to Colorado?
Curious.
The economic downturn.
And then the economic upswing. We're enjoying a very good spike in construction, overall wealth, wages, jobs. If you're not working in the Denver metro area, you don't want to work. There's a job for everybody. If I could import 50,000 construction workers tomorrow into just Denver, I could put every one of them to work.
So is that what you do is construction?
Yes, I work for a large construction company in Denver. We're a builder. What we do is we build things for people. Right now, a major focus in Denver area seems to be apartments. So we build apartment buildings. We currently have 7 large buildings going up in the Denver metro area, cranes, the whole 9 yards. It's really, we're enjoying a good boom here. Steady, but it is definitely at the top of a boom right now.
That's great.
Cool. Hey, welcome, Julie. Julie's Miracle English School just joined us.
Hey, Julie.
And we want to get her on here one of these days, too.
Julie's great. She has so much energy and puts her heart and soul in everything. She's just
right? For sure. You guys, make sure you follow our friend Julie. Julie's Miracle English School. So I'm reading my little notes here. Tim's like, write it all down because we could just start firing stuff off at you guys. So like we were talking about earlier, Tim was watching your videos and he's like, is she a chemist? And you had said you're a
I'm a geophysicist.
So he thought Patrick had to be like a professor or something also, because you guys are so I don't know, how, I think that's my question, right? Is how do you know, because you're so detailed, you don't just tell people how to make a drink or how to make, I can't say it again, kombucha or the grenadine when you did the grenadine. Kombucha or the homemade grenadine. You guys have to watch their videos, okay? Because it's amazing and they're so detailed, not just with the ingredients or the length of time, but you also, every time you do a video, you talk about the whole background of it, the whole history of it.
Yeah, very knowledgeable. It's like you've done a lot of research, which obviously you have.
So much goes into every one of their videos. Every video is just full of the recipe and the background. So how do you do all that? How do you prepare for it? How do you know all that?
Well, thank you, first off. We actually have taken we've taken several loves that we've had and put them into one thing. We both have a great love for history. And we've always kind of said to each other that we're full of a bunch of useless knowledge.
Useless knowledge. Have to jettison it occasionally so that you have more room for useful knowledge.
Yeah, you got to make room.
Exactly. So by getting it out on the airwaves, recordings, whatever we do, at least we're writing it down somewhere.
we just have always been very curious people. So it's like drinking Kahlua. We just don't want to drink Kahlua. We want to know all about it.
Hey, this is good. Where's it come from? How's it made?
Yeah.
You know, it's just the who, what, where, when, and how of life.
God, it really shows. It really shows. I've never seen so much go into one video. It's really impressive. You guys, these are really great.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. We appreciate it. So we just, you know, like I said, we love history. And so we've tried to bring history into the show. You know, a lot of people, they love to drink wine and they love to drink beer. And it's not like we sit around and drink all the time. We just love a really good, fine craft cocktail. And we love kind of inventing new things. And I love to cook. And Pat's really good at mixing drinks. And we just kind of put those two things together and coming up with homemade syrups and how to make things from scratch and to put fresh ingredients into our drinks and just kind of put our heads together. And we started serving them to our guests and entertaining. And it just, next thing we knew, everybody was having us always bring drinks. Drinks to, you know, tailgating and parties and stuff. And so we just kind of one day came up with an idea, you know, let's write a book. Let's put all this in a book and then let's go on YouTube. And
so did the book come before YouTube then? I thought YouTube came before the book. I don't know why.
No, the book was before YouTube.
Oh, okay. So was it the book that brought you to YouTube then? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Well,
socially on YouTube. I mean, I've used YouTube on and off for the last 10 years in different ways. Mostly to listen to music and enjoy other people's videos.
Yeah.
Watching things that people have compiled. So it was always, you know, at times I've worked late into the night and it's always my background music or something playing in the background while I'm still at work. Things of that nature, but it really brought it around more into a social networking and using YouTube in that way. So
I was the same way. I was using it for the sleep music. What is it? I can't even think of the name right now. I want not to digress, but Ian played at a club today in Hollywood, and they made the parents, all of us, stand outside in the 105-degree weather for over 30 minutes. And that's why I look so washed out. And I never even put my mascara on today because I just was dripping sweat. So I'm a little out of it. But that's what I did. I used to listen to the subliminal music, and the motivational stuff, and I did
brainwashing stuff.
The brainwashing stuff, yes.
It's the power of positive suggestion.
Thank you, Patrick. Yes.
There you go. You know, I tried hypnosis once in Newport Beach. They used to have a little club there. It was right off of Newport Boulevard, and it was a comedy club. And they had
the Laugh Stop.
The Laugh Stop. That's what it was. And they had the world's fastest hypnosis. This guy could hypnotize somebody 5 to 10 seconds. Boom, they were under. They were doing crazy shit on stage. And they would always invite people to come up, and he would hypnotize people out of the audience. Unfortunately, not everyone's so open or subject to suggestion or hypnosis. I really wanted to be hypnotized, and damn it, it didn't work for me. We were the ones that were told to go sit down, and the show continued.
It sure did. He doesn't remember.
Yeah.
You got a video of him, like, being a chicken and stuff, right?
No, she's funny. I was asked to go sit down, and I watched everyone else.
No.
He thinks it didn't work.
Right.
Yeah. I'm one of those. I don't think I can't. I'm too much of a troublemaker when it comes to those.
No, you can't tell her a joke. She doesn't get jokes. too analytical, or I don't know what it is.
I'm no fun. The kids all have fun because of him, not me.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always one videotaping everybody else. They're all the talent. All right.
Well, we love your channel. It's great.
Thank you. So how did you guys come up with the name Colorado Martini?
Well, we're in love with the state for one thing. And the book originally was going to be more of a book for visitors that came to the state. So you know how like you go places and they'll have like a cookbook of the area. And so we were going to, it was going to be all these drinks that were inspired by places in Colorado. And so that's where we came up with the name Colorado Martini, because it was going to be just kind of this travel book. And it just kind of grew into something bigger.
Yeah, so a lot of the drinks in the book actually are or contain ingredients that are key to our location in the region. So
or the name.
Or
the name of the drink, the way we named it. We try to name things that have something to do with Colorado. Most of the drinks. But then it kind of, some of the names, I was running out of names.
and we're also experiencing here a big boom in the craft distillery industry. Colorado, I mean, we all know craft beer is a big hit right now, but Colorado is experiencing a boom in craft distilleries. Just in our town alone, we probably had 5 distilleries that include bars and restaurants where they're making vodka, gin, bourbon, rum on premises. Bottling it up, you can find it in the local liquor stores here as well. I say liquor stores here because we can't buy liquor in our grocery stores like California.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until recently, the only beers you could buy were the 3.2 beers, domestic beer. Any good beer, you'd have to go to a liquor store for. They say it takes away the business from the liquor store when you put it in a grocery store.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of local package stores that depend on our business, and they do carry these craft alcohols. For instance, we have a distillery in town. It's called Long Tucky. They, of course, make bourbon because they're making pun on Longmont and Kentucky. But they also make a good rum, a good gin. They have a bar and a restaurant in town that you can go to the distillery. They hold events. Things like yoga in the morning. They'll invite the goats in and do goat yoga and things of this nature. So getting back to
that goat yoga video.
Isn't that funny?
The craft distillery here is big. All of our towns all have really nice distilleries. They're usually named after the town, like Breckenridge, big ski town, also has a big distillery there as well, Breckenridge Distilleries.
Yeah.
So Denver has some big distilleries as well. So kind of it kind of was a perfect storm where all these good alcohols were coming out. They're more natural alcohols. You can go down to my store that's within a mile of my house and get organic vodka. You can get actual potato vodka, not the crap we buy in the stores. There's no potatoes in your vodka that you're drinking unless it says it on the bottle. Vodka can be made of many different things, even sugar. You can straight up make vodka just out of sugar.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what rum is.
I didn't even know rum was in Kahlua. I never even read the bottle, I guess. Tim goes,
it says it right here.
That's why it tastes so good.
I know. I'm watching your video, and I even made that comment on there, and I'm like, I never even knew it had rum in it. And then he's like, honey, it says it right on the bottle. I'm like,
well, without the rum, it's just coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
That is so funny. Oh my God. I've been to Colorado once before, but I got elevation sickness when I went. I was sick for like 3 days before I could have fun.
That's such a bummer.
Yeah, that's why I did a whole video on preventing the altitude sickness.
And when we first moved here from the Bay Area, I had it for weeks.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Terrible. I went from sea level to 5,800 feet and was living at that. And sometimes we would even go, in areas that are much higher.
Well, we always had second homes up in the mountains in California. I remember I was telling you today, my mom had a house up in Lake Arrowhead and Mammoth. And I would just get horrible altitude sickness in Lake Arrowhead and Mammoth, especially Mammoth. And I mean, I couldn't ski. It was so bad. And so I've always kind of been in tune to cures for it because I've suffered from it so much. Here I don't at all because I've lived here for 7 years. But the key is water, lots of water. You start drinking water while you're on the plane and drink it, a lot of it for 48 hours.
I felt like it was
I think the biggest key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then chlorophyll, you can get chlorophyll drops and put it in your water, and it's supposed to oxidate the blood. And that's the problem with altitude sickness, is that you're not getting enough oxygen into your blood. And so it helps with that. And so, yeah, I did a whole video on it.
And then there's alcohol. It's either going to make you feel real good or it's going to make you feel real bad.
Oh, and that organic distilled alcohol is supposed to prevent hangovers.
Yeah.
If you drink organic.
Drink organic vodkas. It's already a neutral alcohol, so it helps with any type of feeling ill in the morning. And then on top of it, it's organic. They claim that it won't give you a hangover.
That's good to know. I'll have to try that next.
Right.
Our distiller friends, because you always ask them, so what's the difference? I mean, what's really the difference? You know, besides it not having pesticides in it. And that's their big selling thing, is that you won't get a hangover.
Wow, that's good to know.
Organic grains.
Yeah.
And then coincide your craft alcohol that's being put out in Colorado right now with our idea of fresh ingredients. And it really makes the drink so much better.
Oh, yeah.
Learned long ago when I had a really bad margarita. Nothing worse than a bad margarita mix. It just gives you heartburn for days after you drink it. Yep. You really didn't enjoy it to begin with. You only drank it because you were just diluting the tequila. Yeah. The fresh ingredients. You make a fresh margarita and you make it the right way. It's all the difference in the world.
Not all the chemicals and stuff, like, you know, bottled sweet and sour and stuff. That's what's giving you the hangover. All the junk that goes into it.
Well, I love like all the stuff you guys do, but just the name Colorado Martini. I mean, I would think you could merchandise that. T-shirts and stuff.
Oh, your logo is so cute.
Yeah. I mean,
well, you're clairvoyant.
Right?
It's a great name. I mean,
off the books.
Yeah, we
planned.
we never really believed strongly in selling someone's company or their name or their logo on a shirt unless it had another meaning to it. I've always been a big car fan, and I could never buy someone else's shirt that said a Dallas Mustang, for instance. Okay, so they sell Mustang parts in Dallas. Why do I want their T-shirt? I don't understand. So we're going to try to twist ours a little bit where it works a dual purpose. Not only is it marketing, but it will also have a meaning to it. And Denise, you can either elaborate or just wait till they come out.
You have to wait till they come out. Pat always comes up with these like great sentences. Yeah.
If you ever need a marketing slogan, give me a call, because somewhere in a drunken stupor, I say some pretty good shit.
He doesn't even have to be drunk.
It helps, though.
He watches back some of our videos and he'll sit there and go, I had no idea I said that. And then we'll have people that are commenting about his stuff.
That's the thing, is the filter shuts off and then the stuff comes out.
He's trying really hard, just because I told him, I'm like, I don't want,
don't embarrass me.
No, I don't even get embarrassed. It's like, I just don't want YouTube give me a strike or demonetize me for something.
Well, I'll try not to get you in trouble this evening.
Did you watch when we were on Pusa Studios? We were talking about Amsterdam, and Andrew was talking about the mini bar in the hotel in Amsterdam. And Patrick goes, "What'd you say? You gotta wonder what's in a mini bar in Amsterdam, like little bottles of hashish or something like that." And I was just taking a sip of a gummy bear martini, and I spit it out everywhere on live stream.
Well, I just read about a channel that is actually a very decent channel, and I think they're even a family vlog. I'm not sure. And they got a strike, and they're waiting 6 months for their channel because they mentioned a drug that I guess might be legal where they're at. Maybe it's just not legal where we are at or whatever. Anyways, they got a strike, and I'm like telling him, be careful what we talk about. It's just sad that we have to be so like, I don't know. You know,
well, we're not endorsing any drugs or alcohol. Well, maybe the alcohol, but it's perfectly legal in all 50 states.
Exactly. We're safe with alcohol.
We have a disclaimer too. Don't attempt this at home. We are professionals.
We are professional drunks.
Yeah. So, but on that lines of merchandise, that is our ideas. Like when we want to, if we're going to do a shirt or a hat, you know, no one wants to wear Unapologetically Gomes on their shirt. That's what we always say. They would, you know, maybe like a nice little small logo and then something that somebody would want, you know.
I would wear a Colorado Martini shirt.
Yes, you would. Yes. Because yours is really catchy. Yours is really.
Sounds like we're kind of on the same page.
I wanted to coin some of his phrases or some of the things that I don't know that are kind of funny. You know, a lot of people like those attitude shirts, whatever. That's all we have going for us is
his attitude.
His attitude shirts. Other than that, we don't have a Colorado Martini. You could do like, you could put a recipe on a shirt even, you know? I don't know. I think it would be kind of cute. Then I wouldn't forget the recipe.
Yeah.
That's actually, I like your idea. Put it on the back.
So you could even just, you know.
Martini plus alcohol equals donkey.
People in the chat can give us ideas.
What?
Ass.
Oh.
There we go.
Somebody said,
not the curse word.
Oh, you have no idea. No idea.
So the donkey, it has to be backwards. It has to be
exactly.
The back end
well,
of
that's
the
what I
donkey.
envisioned was the backside of a donkey. So we've got Mr. Martini, alcohol equals
the back end of a donkey.
Donkey butt. There we go.
Janice Layla says, how do you do that with the two screens? That's just Google Hangouts. I mean, I just click, when you click on YouTube in the going live stream and you click on event and that's how you go live, Janice, it just does it automatically. You can have up to 10 people and it'll go back and forth between the, whoever talks, it'll pop up if it's working right. Sometimes it doesn't do that, but it'll pop up and that's who you see who's talking. I wish it was me, but I'm not that techie. Okay, so we talked about that. So we know now why they started YouTube.
Yep.
Okay, and whose idea was it? I think I have an idea. Was it Denise's idea?
It was mine.
Right.
Between us, it was my idea.
How do you guys decide what you're gonna make? You know, what recipe you're gonna do?
Well, we try to have a theme, you know, so there's always some kind of theme around it or something that goes together. We try to if we can.
I mean, it's summertime. Do 4th of July drinks. Do patriotic drinks.
I saw your 4th of July one. County Fathers.
Who knew?
You know, we're very excited about Halloween. Halloween drinks are great. Do dark and mysterious drinks for the Halloween season. So, I mean, there's a lot of themes. It's easy to come up with that to link them to drinks. We're both really fond of tiki drinks as well. Love the menu of tiki drinks that were brought back from our military during World War II when they came back to the States with all the drinks they'd had overseas. We actually had a tiki movement, which started in the Bay Area of California.
Donna the Beachcomber.
Yeah.
And
so
Trader Vic's.
You know, it's easy to come up with themes and then tie the history to it. We're both into a lot of American history. It's awesome.
But we probably won't do a whole lot with tiki, and the reason being is that my nephew, who's like
wait a minute, that was our second
10 years younger than me, actually has a YouTube channel and called Tony in the Bar, and that's all he does is tiki drinks.
Wow.
And So we probably won't do a whole lot unless we collab with Tony, because we don't want to step on his toes. You know, we try not to compete with our family and friends. Huh?
That many different tiki drinks?
Oh gosh, there's probably enough you could fill a small tabletop book. I mean, I could think of 10 to 15.
So my mom loved buying like cookbooks and cocktail books of famous restaurants back in the day. And so back in the 50s, she bought an original Trader Joe's.
Not Trader Joe's.
Not Trader Joe's.
Vic's.
Trader Vic's. I always
You guys
do that.
know Trader Vic's from LA, right?
Yeah.
And we have Trader Joe's, right?
Yeah.
Trader Vic's.
Trader Vic's. It was a Polynesian style restaurant.
And they still have one, or no, is that Dawn of the Beachcomber that they still have in Las Vegas? I think they reopened Trader Vic's in Vegas. Anyways, so she bought this book and it's about this thick and it was made in the 40s. It's the original book and it's just full of recipes, tiki recipes from the tiki movement. I told Tony I'll leave it to him when I die. He wants that book so bad.
Yeah, her mother would go eat at a restaurant, and if she liked the food, she would try to get a cookbook from the restaurant.
Yeah, I have like
Brown
cookbooks from the Brown Derby.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
The White House have several of the older White House cookbooks.
Yeah, the original White House cookbook. It's about this thick, and it's from like the turn of the century. It was my grandmother's, and they actually still put that cookbook out
when they was using lard and everything.
Some of the things in there are just, it's fun. It would be fun just to read it on a YouTube video, just the fun things that are in that they used to do back in, I mean, it's funny stuff. But yeah, so I actually like going through all these old books and finding ideas, bringing old ideas to the table and stuff that we do. And, you know, so that also sparks ideas for our live stream, you know, just things that we think the audience would be interested in that has maybe a cool backstory to it.
Yeah.
Because like you were saying, we like to bring in the history and the whole shebang about the liquor or the drink that we're making. So we're not
get a lot of your videos, so you're definitely doing the right thing because it's definitely interesting people.
Yeah. Well, we hope so. We hope so. It's so far so good. You know, we have our good days and bad days, like everybody does, and so we're hoping. We don't want to get burned out. We don't. You know, I know the formula is that you have a schedule and that you're on at a certain time on a certain day. And if you've noticed, yeah, we're on some Saturdays at 5:30. Sometimes we're not. It's because we don't want to get burned out. And we know our audience is depending on us to be on at certain times, but I don't want to get burned out. And I want to continue this. And as I told Patrick, I go, we're like a rave. You never know when we're going to be on, what we're going to be doing, what we're going to be drinking.
Well, that's what's fun about your channel is the you know, creativity, and everything is new and everything is interesting. You keep it interesting.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to kind of just even stump the people that know a lot about liquor. And I've actually had people tell me that, like, I worked in a liquor store for 20 years and I didn't even know half the stuff you come up with.
You know what? You guys could do Liquor Jeopardy.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
There we go.
Trivia.
Sounds like a Weird Al Yankovic song, doesn't it?
When we don't have somebody on, we like to do trivia. He's like a I don't know, like what you were saying earlier about information. You said I call it useless information with him. Is because, like, I don't know where he stores it all. He just has one of those incredible.
Guys are good at it. We really are.
Yeah.
We could call it. We did shots on Jeopardy, and every time you get one wrong, you would have to do an alcoholic beverage. I don't know. Sounds good.
Well, how about a drink?
What?
Hey, we could.
Hot chicken does that.
You guys tonight how to make a chocolate cherry martini.
Oh, that sounds good.
I learned how to make that. That's
I know he's got his feet going right now. He's like, "Oh, that sounds really good."
I'm gonna get up and get a shaker. I'll be right back.
So he's getting a shaker. But we're making one that does not have this, but in our book, we have a chocolate martini. We have a chocolate martini that features chocolate. I'm like, there's cocoa vin. It's chocolate and wine. So it's chocolate wine. And who knew there was such a thing as chocolate wine? And basically it's Merlot mixed with chocolate. Wow. And it's actually a thing, and it was actually a big thing back like in the 1500s in France, and then around the Revolutionary American Revolution, it was also a very big thing. And back in the 1700s, they would make it with port and Merlot, port and sherry and chocolate, and it was drunk as a aperitif. So we have a recipe in our book that makes a martini out of this, and I'll actually give you the recipe.
Yes, the only one that I know a recipe on is and this has Colorado in the name. I think I mentioned it to you before. Was Colorado
Bulldog.
Colorado Bulldog, but now whenever I mention that to anybody, they don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm wondering if it was just that restaurant on that one time, but it had Coke, vodka, Kahlua, and milk or cream. And it made it taste like a root beer float. And that's what I was telling you about. I only know Kahlua drinks. I don't know why I fell in love with Kahlua at too young of an age. But you make it homemade, so we're dying to know all about this. And if anybody in the chat likes Kahlua like I do, they have 2 videos up that I saw about Kahlua making it.
So yeah, we have how to make this. I've actually been making Kahlua since college. I started my geophysics college career in Alaska, of all places, in Fairbanks, Alaska. And there's not much to do in the wintertime in Fairbanks, Alaska. So we used to make Kahlua. And this is an older recipe that's been around for a long time, but you can make it if you make it with really strong coffee. But this is actually made with dried coffee, like Taster's Choice, because you want something really bold and strong.
Joe DiMaggio would approve.
Would he approve? And then you make it with 100 proof vodka, and you make it with 100 proof because as it mellows, the proof goes down. So it's not like your Kahlua comes out 100 proof. So it definitely goes down to like.
It definitely dilutes the alcohol.
It will go down as it mellows.
It should be a good 80 when you're done.
And then tons of sugar.
Which is much stronger than the original Kahlua.
Oh, yeah.
Watching your videos, I was learning that. I'm like, I didn't know that this had that much sugar in it.
Yeah. I even say that in the video going, this
the
is
drink of diabetics.
Like 8
yeah. And again, let me just put out the disclaimer that you should be over 21 in the chat right now.
Right.
Yep.
And not attempt this at home.
And then one of the key ingredients in Kahlua is French vanilla. And it gives it just that taste that you really can't put your finger on. And so this has vanilla beans in, and you basically put it in a dark bottle in a dark, cool place and let it sit there and mellow, and it will last for years. And what's really nice is you can give this as a gift and like maybe put some a raffia bow around it and give it as a Christmas gift and stuff. And, but the difference between this and regular Kahlua is that this is coffee liqueur.
Where's this made? This product?
This is made in Mexico. Kahlua is made in Mexico. And
they have an abundance of vanilla there, so I can see why they would add it to the Kahlua.
You get bombarded when you're in
Mexican vanilla. Really
I came home with a ton of it last time we were down there. This is coffee liqueur plus rum, and that's the difference between regular coffee liqueur. So that's our little key ingredient. So coffee liqueur already has liquor in it, like vodka, and then they put the rum on top of it. So you can take the homemade and then make a rum drink, and you'd pretty much have the same thing. So, but real quick, before we make this drink, Kahlua, the name Kahlua comes from actually an Arabic word for coffee. And I have this thing where
who would have known?
Who knew?
Yeah.
So I can't pronounce it, so I have it. My tablet's going to say it. Kahlua. Can you hear that?
No.
Yeah.
Hey. What the heck? Hold on.
She's also a computer scientist.
Yeah, I'm a software engineer.
It's okay. I have problems with my condos and apartments too.
Okay.
So.
God, it's like I can't get it any louder.
Kahlua.
Can you hear that?
Oh.
It's Arabic for coffee.
Kahlua.
Oh, okay.
Kahlua.
So that's where Kahlua comes from because it's coffee.
I think
the
whoever
word
said it
comes from.
probably had a couple of shots of Kahlua.
Before they did
You're
it.
like really slurring the word.
Kahlua. Kahlua.
Kahlua.
Kahlua.
Like later on at night when she asked for her 7th or 8th. I got another
People
Kahlua.
are going to believe it.
Well, my favorite, I call it an adult chocolate milk, is just Kahlua and milk.
A lot of people say that to me about the chocolate milk, but I don't drink very often. I wish I had time to actually, but I have it once every few months now. But when I was working, because I don't work now, I just do YouTube now, but and the kids. But when I was working full time, I used to have it like almost every night. I had to have my triple venti coffee in the morning to get started, and I'd have my Kahlua and cream at night to unwind. I had it way too much. But it's my favorite.
Routine that works for you.
It's so fattening.
So what do you have for us here, Pat?
Yeah, and I want to state that it's not like I drink all the time. This is my first drink tonight. Okay, we are going to make the chocolate cherry martini. I'm going to start off with 3 ounces of cherry vodka. I actually made this cherry vodka myself out of vodka and cherry Jolly Ranchers candy.
Oh,
My God, that sounds so good.
Ranchers. Jolly Ranchers candy.
You're doing this. I wish
That was a different episode, but that's basically where we dissolve Jolly Ranchers cherry hard candies into vodka. Makes a very tasty vodka. So this is 3 ounces of my Jolly Ranchers, not Ranches. Ranches. You know who means.
watch this.
yeah.
We're going to put that in the shaker there. And then we're going to go with 3 ounces of chocolate liqueur. We're going to use the cream de coco.
Cream de coco.
Cream de coco.
That's good. We actually have a bar, but like I said, because of construction, we don't have it in here. It would have been perfect to have this.
Yeah.
To have with our bar behind us.
Yeah, my bar's all torn up next to me.
Yeah, we're kind of renovating at the moment. It's going to be awesome when it's done.
That's what we can say.
3 ounces of sweet cherry juice. 3 ounces of cherry juice. This, of course, is over a cup of ice in our favorite shaker.
What's that? Is that just a shaker that you have?
Yeah, it's actually cool. It's an antique solid silver shaker.
It's a family heirloom.
So it keeps things incredibly cold. You put the ice in there a few moments before you make your drink, and the whole shaker gets quite cold, almost to the point where you can't hold it too long. But in return, your drinks come out nice and cold because martinis, of course, have no ice in them. They are, of course, shaken with ice. Now, last ingredient here. We have a ½ ounce of lemon juice.
Freshly squeezed.
Freshly squeezed. There might even be a seed in there. We don't mind because the shaker will shake it out. All the ingredients. Now, see how cold the shaker's turned now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely frosted over. I love that.
Yeah, don't ever use plastic shakers. Always use a metal because of the coldness. Trying to get your drink nice and cold.
So I rimmed my glass with sugar simply by cutting the lemon that I squeezed for my lemon juice. And I went around the rim of the glass and got some lemon juice in it and turned it down into a plate of sugar, much like you would salt on a margarita glass.
Right.
Yep, this is baker's sugar, which is a finely ground sugar that a lot of bakers use. It's a real refined sugar. I'm not really going to eat it off of the glass. It's more of a decoration, but you could if you wanted to. So this should come out looking like a cherry chocolate martini.
You could also do some like sugar and crushed cookies with this.
Ooh.
would be good, like Oreos or something like that. Because there's nothing better than cherry and chocolate and raspberry and chocolate.
Wow. So it's like a dessert drink.
Definitely.
Definitely.
This would probably be excellent after a heavy meal of maybe prime rib. Well, I think everything goes well with prime rib.
And you free music for your videos says it looks amazing. I can taste it.
I know. I wish I could taste it.
Oh my God. That's so good.
Okay, we're going to have to replay this.
So yeah, we're going to have to try that.
We're definitely going to have to replay this and watch this.
So when you make your own,
it truly tastes like cherry chocolate. I can't even taste the alcohol.
that is like really good. So when you put the Jolly Ranchers in your vodka and dissolve them, you don't have to put any sugar in your drink, like simple syrup, because it's already part of the drink. So you actually almost have a cherry martini already made. So you basically take about 12 Jolly Ranchers, throw them in some plain vodka. Sometimes we use Citron, give it that little bit of lemon or vanilla. It's really good with vanilla vodka.
It sounds like it would be really good.
And so you put it in like a mason jar. And does a mason jar take a whole?
I think it's a quart.
Like
aren't quart jars?
Yeah, they're quart jars. We always get the wide mouth ones so you can put things in it. And you just, if you're going to have a party that night, do it in the morning and just every so often go and shake it just to get it to dissolve. And by the time you have your party, it'll be dissolved. And you already have this pre-made drink because it's already got the sugar in it. It's already got the vodka. And if you do it with the vanilla or the citron, you just put it in a shaker and it's ready to go.
I think my favorite recipe with that would be the Absolute vanilla vodka. Awesome product on its own. And then put in the 10 or 12 Jolly Ranchers candy and let them fully dissolve.
Oh my God, that sounds
Put it in the freezer. Of course, it's not going to freeze. It's 80 to 100 proof anyways. And just serve it chilled as shots. It's to die for. It really is good.
Oh my God, I got to try it.
Yeah. We used to entertain all the time before our kids. We used to like have annual Cinco de Mayo parties, and we literally have like up to like 100 people over here. And but after our kids, I don't know, we just kind of died out. And then with all the animals in the house, so right now, as you mentioned, you're renovating. So we're renovating, forced renovation on the inside because of the flood, but we're also sticking in a pool with a fire pit. So we're excited. Like when everything is done, we want to start entertaining again
and using your recipes.
And I know he's like taking notes on these because he was always like the bartender. But you only knew a couple of drinks, whereas now I could see him. He's like watching that.
Oh yeah,
I'm definitely
totally gonna get your book when it comes out too.
Well, thank you. Well, you know what else would be good with this is that if you took the cherry Jolly Ranchers and smash them up and then rim the glass with it.
Oh yeah,
that does sound really good.
We do that with our lemon drops, where we get lemon drop hard candy and pound them out with a mallet.
Yeah.
Like a thick Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
Pound them out into a granular and then rim the glass with those. It's really cool. So you can kind of change that with every drink. You do an appletini, you can get the sour apple candies and smash them up and rim the glass. And by the way, the apple Jolly Ranchers also work pretty well in vodka, especially if you're going to make an apple themed drink, like maybe a caramel apple for Halloween. Or an appletini. A lot of people like the appletinis. If you use the Jolly Ranchers, there's no need for simple syrup.
That's good to know.
We can start using our bar for more than ice cream.
And the kids love Jolly Ranchers anyhow. So.
Our bar turned into an ice cream soda bar for the kids. Yeah. Now they're going off and doing their own things. It's time for us to start using it.
We're going to get our bar back.
Chicory
that's the thing is that the simple syrups that we make are also good for non-alcoholic drinks. So you can take some of the simple syrups that we make and put some seltzer in it, or club soda, or even 7-Up, and you have an Italian soda.
Yeah.
And
my lemon simple syrup, I oftentimes will add water to it and give it to my daughter for lemonade. It's a lot more. Lemonade in general is not healthy, but I would trust something that I made more than something I bought off a grocery shelf.
Right.
and it makes a great lemonade. And you can make raspberry simple syrup, lemon simple syrup, and they're on hand for drinks, but they're also on hand for the kids as well. If you've got raspberry simple syrup, just add a little bit of water and ice in the hot afternoon, and it's awesome.
That sounds good too.
It does sound really good. Their channel is so much more than just I shouldn't say just drinks, because it's pretty amazing drinks. And but you have to go to their channel. You have to go through their videos. Their videos can be captivating because they're so full of so much information. It's more than just a recipe. It's more than just drinks. When you say lifestyle, it really is a lifestyle, but and it's like all the history and everything in your stuff.
Well, and just watching you guys do it is like, it makes me want to try it. I was like, oh, I got to try this now.
So it makes me want to try it, but I probably wouldn't because I'm just too lazy to do it. But he will. That's why I turned him onto your channel. I'm like, you got to try this because he will make the drinks.
I will make them.
Well, there's a lot more to come. We have a lot on the books to put out, and our next live stream, I think it's going to be next one is going to be abstinence. I can't say it.
Okay, you got it right. Now don't screw it up again, because when you mess it up, we've been married so long, then I can't say it.
How long have you guys been married?
Everything.
Well, a lot of people don't know what absinthe is or have ever made a drink out of it, because what they don't realize is it's been illegal for over 90 years in most countries, including.
Talk about a bad rap.
Yeah. It
So,
got a really bad rap back in the turn of the century, and it's been illegal ever since.
People thought that one of the ingredients, I believe, was it wormwood?
It is wormwood.
Yeah, wormwood would cause hallucinations, and eventually one would lose their mind. They associated it with a green fairy because of the green color of the bottle that the alcohol came in.
Yeah, the worm.
Anyway, it's pretty fun.
It's got quite a deep story, and it's
intriguing.
It's very intriguing, and there's a lot of myth about it that's not true. And so a lot of people don't know how to make drinks with it. And so we're going to do a whole thing on it, because people just don't know how to make drinks out of it and stuff. And it's good.
Worked on a movie in New Orleans, and one of the bars there is the Old Absinthe Bar. I think it's called the Old or the Ancient Absinthe Bar. And I'm assuming, I mean, I don't know if it's illegal there now, but
well, it came out. It's actually a Swiss alcohol, but it's the French that made it famous.
Right.
And that's why New Orleans is so it has a lot of drinks around it. And they used to make a lot before it was illegal here in the States.
Yeah.
And but the French are what loved it. It was like the favorite drink of artists, and Monet was really into it, and Wilder.
Kind of like the British in their gin.
Exactly.
To go to that bar to get a hurricane. That was the drink that.
Oh yes.
You had to go to that bar and get a
rum drink.
Yeah, it was like every kind of rum. Throw it in there and see if you can finish it.
Yeah, there's a lot of great drinks that have come out of New Orleans.
Chicory's Travel says, I was thinking of trying their simple syrup to flavor tea.
Oh yes, it's perfect.
Well, we make it similar to tea too. You guys know about making sun tea. You're living in Southern California.
You do that all the time.
That's how we brew our simple syrups. We'll put our baker's sugar in our purified water and whatever fresh ingredient, lemon, raspberry, blueberries, muddled in this out in the sun in mason jars, and let it brew into a syrup. It's quite awesome. By the end of the day, you've got a syrup you can use in your alcoholic beverage, or you can dilute it into a refreshing drink like lemonade.
And the thing is about doing it in the sun is it's not evaporating like when you do it on the stove. So it's not as thick as the ones you make on the stove because of the evaporation's not happening, because you got a lid on it, because you don't want bugs getting in it.
Right.
Well, maybe we do.
That would make
Eat the worm.
Drink. It doesn't need to be thick to go into a drink. It's not the thickness, it's the flavor.
Yeah,
And,
precisely. I think the main reason you want it to turn into a syrup is not only so that it mixes better in your drinks. The sugar is completely dissolved by the warmth of the sun, and that's what you're truly trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
And also, too, the simple syrup that we make, we have to put in refrigerator when we're done. It doesn't go on the shelf like something you would buy at a grocery store. If you leave hours out, it'll go bad. It'll grow bacteria. It's got natural ingredients in it. It doesn't have any preservatives in it.
This is, like a coffee syrup. This is the brand that makes the coffee syrup. This is cherry syrup. This can sit on, a bar.
100 years from now and 3 nuclear wars later, we'll be able to enjoy that syrup.
I mean, this has red dye in it, and, God knows what else it's got in it.
And when you go and order a coffee, this is usually the syrup that they put in it or a different brand name. The cherry syrup. Not a big fan. I'll dilute it in some things. The cherry, all of the syrups tend to taste fake.
Right.
Raspberry syrup. Steer clear of the martinis that call for the syrups that you would find at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Try to make your own.
This has got pure cane sugar, water, natural flavors. Well, natural is a pretty open-ended word. It means
right.
Well, there's probably, that means to me is there's probably citrus in it.
Well, it's got citric acid.
Yeah, they have to use the citrus for a preservative.
Yeah, citric acid, which is vitamin C.
And you will taste the citrus as well.
Let me put it this way: natural flavors. Well, arsenic's natural. Hemlock's natural.
Damn it! Where do we get that?
And then it's got sodium benzyne to preserve freshness, and FD and C red number 40.
Oh, number 40 is my favorite.
A little number 40 in you tonight.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All about fresh ingredients.
I know we need to get back to fresh ingredients. We for a long time were trying to eat whole organic, and then this last year's been a hell of a year. So we back on.
I try a little at a time. I find the foods that I eat the most of, and I go organic with them.
Vodka?
Yeah.
Lulu's down here licking your knees.
It is one of the food groups. Come on.
It's got potatoes.
The real vodka does. But no potatoes were harmed in the consumption of our vodka tonight.
So what's your since you've been
make another drink? Hey, we got a chocolate theme going. We're gonna run with it, all right?
Go for it. Go for it.
For like Valentine's Day.
Oh, there you go.
We're gonna make a chocolate crayon. That doesn't
canyon.
A chocolate canyon. No, I like the crayon. Who the hell taught you to spell?
What's the R?
Who the hell taught me to read? Okay, we're gonna change the name real quick. Make sure you make note of the book. Okay, crayon.
No, I'm gonna rename it to Choco Canyon.
There we go, Choco Canyon.
Yeah.
The chocolate canyon. We're gonna start this drink with 4 ounces of chocolate wine. You were just showing that.
Yeah.
Chocolate wine.
Chocolate wine. Yum, yum. I don't recommend you sit down and polish a bottle off at dinner with this, but it is good for those delectable drinks. So I'm going to reach over here and grab my...
I have a recipe in the book on how to make that yourself.
Okay, good.
Ooh.
Now she's giving us some recipes in the book.
This is kind of the leading brand, the Choco Vin.
But California wine?
What's the name of your book? Do you have a name for it yet?
Colorado Martini.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Colorado Martinis.
The Dutch chocolate and fine red wine.
So we're gonna have like a volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, like Colorado Martini volume 1.
Well, actually, no. We'll start a new LLC and company and business for the next book.
Nice.
So let's see where this was made.
All right, getting back to my drink. 4 ounces of chocolate wine. We're going to pour that in our new shaker.
Wow,
Another cup of ice.
This
So
was
where did you get the chocolate wine from?
The local liquor store has it, but it's actually imported from Holland.
I'll probably get that at like or something.
My memory's so short. I forgot she just showed that a second ago.
Dutch chocolate.
Damn Dutch.
But I have a recipe for this on how to make it. If you find the recipe on the internet and they tell you to boil if there's any boiling of the liquor, don't do it, because boiling liquor just takes all the alcohol away.
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that?
Exactly. There's a lot of recipes.
Rum cake.
That have that.
It's cake. It's rum. Make up your mind. Okay, so we have our 4 ounces of chocolate wine. I am going to add 2 ounces of vanilla vodka. Big fan of vanilla vodka.
I'm taking a picture of us. Oh, I can't get us in there and get it. Maybe you can do it on your side.
And then 2 ounces of Irish cream.
Irish cream he's putting in there now. Can you get them in there? Yeah.
All morning drunks know about Irish cream. It's what we use instead of coffee mate.
Here, Tim.
You're taking a picture of us taking a picture of them on here.
Can't do it.
We're terrible. We're the kids when you need them. Okay, so you just put Irish cream in there.
Yeah, you like Irish cream.
All right.
So recap it real quick. It's a simple recipe. It's 4 ounces of chocolate wine, 2 ounces of vanilla vodka, 2 ounces of Irish cream liqueur. Shaken, never stirred.
So I'm renaming this the Choco Canyon Martini.
Choco Canyon.
Yeah.
Just name it, not the.
Well,
just Choco Canyon.
There's a real canyon called Choco Canyon in New Mexico, right down the way.
Choco Canyon. Chocolate Canyon.
No, I named it Chocolate Canyon, but you keep saying crayon.
I like the crayon better. It's gonna look like a melted crayon. You just watch. Hey,
look at that.
It's not your mama's chocolate milk.
That's a very creamy, like dessert drink.
I think the only way I would alter this is that you could replace the Irish cream with Kahlua. That would be good.
That would make it a Kahlua Chocolate Canyon. I almost said Chaka Khan.
Chaka Khan.
Yeah.
Chaka Khan Martini.
Chaka Khan. What you got there?
That's good. You can really taste the Irish cream in it.
Yeah.
So with Kahlua, it would be a nice twist on it. With that chocolate wine. Who knew there was chocolate wine? I had never known.
That sounds pretty
until I found it in the liquor store, and I went, "What? Oh, I'm coming up with a martini for this."
Hey, how you doing?
That's Ian.
That's my son Ian. He's learning all about these drinks.
Don't say that. Yeah. He's the one who just sang in that. I put up a video on our page. He just sang at the Troubadour tonight.
So what? Oh,
take a picture of us.
At the Troubadour. You said, where did he sing?
At the Troubadour.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the name of the band?
We did it with the School of Rock. But it's really cool that they got to sing there with all the schools of rocks in the whole United States. And but it's so nice because he knew what it meant. Like he's like Led Zeppelin sang on this stage, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I spent many a nights in that place.
Yeah, but they're talking about the stage, not the bathroom.
Take it with this, honey, like this.
I got hit for that one.
That and the whiskey a go-go.
Yeah, in there.
Is the whiskey still around?
Yeah.
Yes, we drove right by it coming home, and I was telling him about it coming home. I'm like, wave to Ian. He's waving. He's taking a picture of us. Yeah. Okay.
We have a School of Rock here in Denver as well.
Yeah, they probably were. Some of their students were probably here today.
That's cool.
They had students from all over the United States, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all over the United States, and they were great. Some of these kids were so talented.
That's a wonderful place to bring the kids into. I mean, like you said, there's a lot of rock history.
Right?
What's next? The Fillmore?
The Fillmore Fillmore's San Francisco, right?
So when we buy the Whiskey A Go-Go, I was telling him about that coming home and some of the people I knew that played there. Yeah, so
I actually painted the Whiskey A Go-Go once for the Doors. Yeah, we painted it red, the whole exterior of the whiskey red.
For the movie?
For the movie, yeah.
What was the movie?
The Doors movie.
Oh, for the Doors.
I have a story about this. You might even know about this. Being a geophysicist, we would, go out to the Mojave Desert all the time and, do geological things. And they filmed part of that movie out at the Kelso sand dunes.
Where Jim Morrison's walking through the desert, the dunes. Yeah.
I painted the ground out there, the road, red for the scene where the cars flipped over or something like that.
Well, the scene where they're in the cave?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
and the actual real glyphs that are on the wall, the petroglyphs that were on the wall.
He painted over them. He's the one who screwed them up.
No, he was the one who had to go try to fix it.
I was sent out to try to figure out the standby.
To fix it.
The standby painter on that show, supposedly they wanted to add some, drawings. So she put chalk. She swears she just drew chalk on the walls and it sucked right into that limestone. It would not come out. Nightmare.
Accentuate the drawings, don't destroy them.
So just so you know,
that's funny that you knew that.
In all geological schools in Southern California,
what not to do to a geological site,
right? Don't draw on it.
Yep, that's funny that you knew about that, and that's become a topic among geophysicists.
Yep, I was there.
Yep. And that was like what, 20 years ago?
Oh yeah.
Oh, if not more.
Our kids weren't
probably
even
25
born.
years ago.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, that was the trip I realized I was pregnant with our oldest daughter.
Yeah.
He's had morning sickness the whole time I was there. And that was the trip I realized I was pregnant.
Yeah,
so,
beautiful area out there, huh?
And she's 26.
Yeah, they sent me out there to try to figure out what would take this stuff off the cave. And I was like, I'm not touching this cave. It's a national park. And
you didn't.
They ended up, I think, finally, lemon juice is what they used to get it off of the stone.
That's cool.
It would work. At least that's what I heard.
It's limestone, so that makes sense.
Yeah, dissolved it.
It dissolved it.
Chisels and hammers.
Vinegar would have worked well too.
He's got a lot of stories on that kind of stuff. I remember when you did work, we were just talking with another channel about this when you were on Waterworld in Hawaii, and people were getting mad at them for, I forget what people were doing on that show.
Oh, we're always doing something to piss people off.
Of course.
That's the movies. That's what they do.
Wasn't it an echo thing with that they were disturbing the water life or something like that?
We were working right in the harbor, and everything was going right into the water. So
didn't a hurricane destroy the set once?
Yeah,
that
was doubled the cost of the movie.
That was Jurassic Park that the hurricane
way over budget. Yeah. And,
there was supposedly a typhoon coming or something, and they wanted to tow the whole set to Australia. I mean, they were just like coming up with these harebrained ideas. And it was like,
and the budget, and remember the cost of the movie? Everybody kept wearing hats and stuff every time the cost went up and up.
At the time, that movie cost a lot.
A lot of money, yeah.
I did enjoy the movie, though. Thank you. I'm somewhat of an amateur movie buff, so I've probably seen every movie you've ever worked on.
All right, so the whole Waterworld, the atoll that
it was in for like 1 minute.
It was in for like the first 5 minutes of the movie. I mean, we worked on that thing for like
8 months.
8 months.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
And I remember because I stood out there with them a lot of the time. I remember them bringing in the what are those people called to get rid of the bad spirits? So they'd have these periodic events, where they would have somebody coming in and with the.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
Is that your part of your producers deal there? Because producers can get pretty weird.
Yeah, they got really weird.
Isn't Kevin Costner the producer of that movie?
Hey, I'm sure he was one of them.
Yeah, he had his hands in it.
Yeah, he was one of them. So, but you always appreciate it because it just keeps you working.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Now he does more TV than movies because he tries to stay home because of the kids. Ever since we had kids, he tries to work on TV. And I remember for a long time you didn't want to, but it's kept him steadily working and busy all the time.
Yeah,
oh, that's awesome.
Well, that's why I don't practice geophysics anymore, because I was traveling so much, and I'd have to go to this military base and that military base all over the world, and all over the nation basically. And I was a mom, and so I just couldn't do it anymore. I mean, when our first daughter was born, I didn't see her for like a month at one time when she was a baby, and I just couldn't do that. So I switched over to computer science. And I've been doing that ever since.
You were always good at computers anyway.
Yeah, I was already programming as a geophysicist because, back in the day, there was nothing off the shelf we could use. We had to design all of our own stuff.
That was back when the internet went.
Internet? It was more like Dixie cups and a string.
I'm surfing. Oh,
Now my kids get
lowest wave I've ever seen.
if it takes 3 seconds to connect, they're upset. And I'm like, oh, you have no idea how long we used to wait. When you have to pick up that phone and put it on there and then program it. Oh my God.
Oh, remember the days when you're waiting for a picture to download?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. They watched War Games. You remember that movie War Games?
Yes.
And so they saw the guy pick up the phone and put it down, and they're like, "Oh my God, what is that?" I'm like, that's a computer.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I started programming. They didn't have all the, everything wasn't it wasn't a GUI interface, where it's all graphical. And so we'd have to design our own interfaces. So if you wanted to make a button, I'd have to program, lines
Of code
for
the button.
to make the button. So I'd have to repeat the same code over and over again to kind of sew a button together.
Oh my God, I wouldn't even have any idea.
Or a border and stuff like that. And so when visual programming came out, it was like such a coup for me, because it was like, you mean I don't have to write this stuff? It's already done for us? How revolutionary.
Yeah.
Template.
How was that drink?
That was so good.
Very chocolate.
Why don't you say the recipe again?
Oh, recipe for that was 4 ounces of chocolate wine, 2 ounces vanilla vodka, 2 ounces of Irish clean liqueur, and a glass, a shaker, and a cup of ice.
Very nice.
All right. Chicory Travels is, she also said, I'm a little behind. I loved their recent video on simple syrups with a tip about the lemon balm.
The lemon balm.
Probably the lemon drop.
Oh, maybe it's lemon drop.
It's close enough.
I love about your
oh, lemon balm, the plant.
okay.
Light bulb.
I like your tip right now about the crushing up the Jolly Ranchers.
Jolly Ranchers, yeah.
And I love that idea, and ribs and melting them and putting them around the drinks. Like I said, I don't normally. I want.
If you don't like the Jolly Ranchers, you can go to like a tractor store or a country store. I think you guys have tractor stores up there. What are they called?
Tractor Supply.
Tractor Supply stores. And you can get the old-fashioned hard candies. They're basically just round hard candies. You can get them in various flavors.
Oh, you know where you can get those is Michael's.
Oh,
okay, yeah.
Yeah, we got one right around the corner.
Okay. I say I watch these, and a lot of times I don't try them, but I have to try that one. That one looks pretty simple. I look for really simple things. If it's really complicated, I'll mess it up. But these sound really simple, so I definitely have to try these.
And going back to the lemon balm, I was on a different thought pattern. The lemon
she
balm.
Caught up lemon
she's
balm.
talking about the herb lemon balm.
Good.
Tearing that up and putting it in the simple syrups to get a lemon flavor into your drinks or your syrups, and then I put them in soups, and they're really good in chicken soup, homemade chicken soup, lemon balm, really good.
Did you just see a drink and then go, okay, I'm going to figure out how to make that homemade at home, or does it just just fall on you and just kind of go, I think I can make that at home? I mean, how do you?
It's kind of cool.
Dissect the drink and then figure out how you can make it better.
Yeah.
So if you go to, let's say, Outback tonight and you're sitting at the bar and you try one of their signature drinks, and you like it, most of the time you can either ask the bartender or bribe him with a good tip and find out what's in their drink. And their drinks are made to be meant fast. So everything's made quick and won't necessarily have healthy ingredients. Right. Now, we're talking about alcohol, so it can't get too healthy. But why add a bunch of junk on top of it? You know, like the syrups.
Yeah. Like
so
number 5.
And just learn how to make it better. Well, what if I made, instead of using the syrup, I made my own syrup? And what if, instead of using this, I use fresh lime, and just kind of make it better, make it your own. Add an ingredient to it you think that might pair well with it. And that's how we usually come up with recipes of our own. It'll start with, I mean, let's face it, just like there's only so many guitar riffs and there's constant lawsuits on, hey, you stole my song. Yeah. There's only so many combinations of alcohol unless we recreate alcohol as we know it. So there's only certain combinations of it. So we might start with a drink that was around in the 1940s and change it to make it our own, using fresh ingredients, maybe paired with something else that we thought would go better with it.
Yeah, it's like we grow a lot of herbs. And that's where I came up with the lemon balm. We've got drinks that are have basil in it.
Fresh basil.
Fresh basil with there's nothing better than fresh basil, fresh strawberries, and balsamic vinegar. Of all things.
You lost me at the vinegar. I was on board until then.
Don't you remember the strawberry peel?
You guys have to come out to, when you're out in California, you guys have to stop by.
Yeah, we actually are out there quite a bit. We still have family in Newport. And
we almost spent this coming Thanksgiving, but we got diverted.
Yeah, we got diverted. So we I don't know when we're going to be coming out next and stuff. So
it's almost like going home. So if it's between going home or going somewhere else on vacation, it's an easy choice. So
yeah, I get melancholy for Southern California, and I want to go home. And then I spend a couple of days there, and I'm like, I want to go back to Colorado because to us it's very crowded.
Yeah,
not used to it anymore.
Yeah,
right outside LA. We're in Santa Clarita, Valencia area, and
homes there.
yeah. Oh my God, because as we mentioned with the water damage that we had, you know, I felt like it took forever with the insurance company. Well, once the insurance company, you know, gave us the go-ahead and money, we could not get a contractor to start. It was like weeks away. I'm like, do you understand? We're living in a hotel and we're on concrete right now. It was like the construction, and everybody's busy everywhere right now.
It's booming. Everybody's working.
So well, good for the economy.
I mean, that's why we left California, because the housing industry, the bottom fell out, and it actually fell out of the university industry too, which is what I'm in. Right. And so I always wanted to work for a college here in Colorado, and I followed my dream, and here we are.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we went to the DMV to get Ian's permit because he's now going to be driving. So we got his driver's permit.
Good morning.
Right? Yeah. And you guys, don't forget, you just made me think with the thumb. Hit the like button if you haven't yet on the video. That'd be awesome. But my whole reason of bringing up the DMV is because it was so crowded. And they were telling us that, yeah, because it's still the same old DMV. They said we have no place to build on, no place to grow. And they have no plans on moving, but yet it's just building and building out here. You know,
well, there's a new ID that everybody has to get now too.
And the new ID, yeah. So with all the
switching to
the what?
When you said a new ID.
Oh, there's some.
Is it just California or is it United States?
I don't know if it's the United States. I know it's California. There's some new ID. Ian knew about it.
Yeah, he did. I don't know what it was. Call him, Ian.
Well, we've got new driver's licenses that are really secure documents in Colorado, but the reason I ask is that there's been talk for a long time about a U.S. driver's license. Basically, it's a national driver's license, good in every state. And I didn't know if they were, California's always cutting edge technology on what to do for the masses because you have the masses.
Right.
So
the ID that they were talking about at the DMV that everybody has to get now.
Real ID. Real ID.
That's what they're calling it.
What do you know what it's for?
Yeah.
I think it's just an ID. I mean, they want everybody to have a basic ID instead of driver's license necessarily. Even if you're not driving,
I think it covers everything.
Everything.
Right?
Yeah, I always thought everybody had to have a California ID anyways. I always thought you had to.
I think now.
Yeah, I think it's you have to have some form of ID and some amount of debt to be a U.S. citizen.
Right?
We got that covered.
Yeah, we're okay there.
Well, you know what's so funny, Ed? Since we left California, this is our second time we've left California. We lived in Washington State for years.
Well, we left Southern California. We came back to Northern California. Then we left Northern California.
But every, in the movies, they're always making fun of the DMV, what a horrible place it is and how long it takes. And unless you're Californian, you don't understand that. And I've always had to explain it to people because everybody else's DMV, you're in and you're out.
Oh, well, California DMVs have come a long way with the appointment system. Duh. But
I had an appointment and it was still 2 hours there.
But you want to hear something funny? Washington State, you can go into Albertsons and pick up the tags to your car. Wow. Okay, they've got a little counter over in the corner, like a lottery counter.
Yeah.
And you go over and you can pick up your license plates, your tags, do your red.
At Albertsons. They're starting that here.
Oh, they are? They should.
Awesome idea. Driver's license.
There's certain places, and I forget where they're at, but it's a brand new thing, and I saw it online. And you just have to go in online and put in some information, and then it'll be available.
I think it's El Pollo Loco now.
And it'll be one of these places. I don't remember where, like a Vaughn's, I think it was, or something like that, and it'll be there.
Oh, you should have said El Pollo Loco. I miss that place so much.
Yeah, could you like overnight me a few In-N-Out burgers? Because we haven't got we're building one. It hasn't broke ground yet though.
And burger in Colorado?
In Denver.
Yeah, we don't have In-N-Out. We don't have El Pollo Loco.
Closest In-N-Out's Las Vegas.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
There's like one Del Taco I've ever seen in this entire state.
No, there's a few Del Tacos. We got that covered. Carl's Jr., we're good there.
And we just got.
If you go to Wyoming, though, they call them Hardee's.
All right.
Yes.
How about a Wiener Schnitzel or something like that?
I knew you were going to ask that.
No, I don't think they have the Wiener Schnitzel chain here.
No, I've never seen that. We have Carl's Jr.'s. We have Jack in the Box, Taco Bell, McDonald's.
Popeyes. Got Popeyes chicken.
Popeyes, Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, ever since you.
When I went to Louisiana, that's where I first had Popeyes.
No.
Well, you guys, I know it's got to be getting late there for you guys because you guys are on Central Time, right?
No, we're on Mountain Time.
We're Mountain.
Mountain Time. Oh, yeah. I should have known that. Mountain Time. It's Colorado, right?
Colorado Mountain.
And but thanks so much for coming on with us. This was really fun, and Tim is really gonna.
I want to go start mixing.
Yeah. As soon as our house is all done, we're gonna have a party. Maybe we'll live stream it.
That's really
Picture our bar, or you guys will just have to come to the party when we have it.
There you go. We could be there virtually.
Right. Thanks so much for coming on. This was like so much fun.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Oh no, this is great. And I know Chicory Travel says thanks everyone. Great live. So I think everybody's appreciated this, and we're going to definitely rewatch this and take some of these notes for sure.
Yep, for sure.
Great.
So wonderful getting to know you guys.
Have a great evening.
All right, you too.
Now, if you guys, I don't know if you know this, but once I click end, it will still stay on for us. It'll stay on for a second, so don't hang up yet. But I'm going to say bye to everybody else. Thank you guys for coming by. Bye. Oh, and don't forget, when their book comes out, you guys have to go to their website and get their book because you're going to want that book.
I want the book.